Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Man, the lady he was sitting beside him, she was a Democrat. She was cracking up, man. Markowitz was getting up. He said, so we need to find out the truth. So I'm asking the committee to get us a handwriting expert and find out if this is Trump's signature or not. Oh, man. Yeah. Man, this thing, they said it was going to be hilarious, and it is. You said them people, they don't know what they done done. Oh, man. And the rest of them on the committee, man, all them Democrats, they were talking much stuff, man. I'm telling you. They were asking them for all kind of stuff. We need this, we need that to get the committee. We want subpoenas and stuff for everybody to come on. And we want them to be sworn under oath because we know that someone will sit here and lie to us. He said it's been a proven fact that they will lie. Oh, man. I can only watch just a little bit of it, man. I couldn't listen to the rest of it because it was something else. But I remember his, man, because he was hilarious, man. I think some of the Republicans were laughing. They just didn't want to say anything. Because they trying to figure out how in the hell all these Republicans just keep on saying, well, that don't look like his signature. That might not be his signature. Somebody might have forged his name. And Trump, he just sitting there lying. I didn't sign that. I don't doodle nothing. So they brought up 3 drawings that he had done on somebody's piece of paper that they had found. He had did some doodling on it and everything. This is Trump, he signed it, he got some doodling on it. He done drawn some buildings and stuff. He said he don't doodle though. Oh, man. They got him, man. They got him. And Poe Donald, they just dogging him out here. They dogging that boy out. That shit that went on down here in Georgia, them South Koreans is pissed off. Come to find out that most of them people and stuff, matter of fact, all of them had a legal visa to be here working in the United States. So the South Korean president tried to ease the stuff down a little bit, tap it down because they got all of that money they done invested in that plant down there. And they asked all them folks, almost 500 of them, well, since it's the okay, Donald said you all can stay. Which one of you are, who gonna stay? So all of them said, I'm going home. They said, we going home. We ain't going through this mess no more. Handcuffed, shackled, thrown on buses, locked up in jail. We ain't staying here. We get the hell out of this country. Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
So they tried to figure out what Donald gonna do now, cause they done shut down that whole plant down here, and they don't know how in the hell they gonna get it going. And the investors over there in South Korea, they sitting around the equipment and said, well, we might just have to pull our investment out and everything, because we can't go through this.
Oh yeah, you know those ICE people. They get so much ahead. Besides their salary, they get so much ahead.
Yep. And to find out but they found out, they thought, well, maybe half of them was here illegally. They find out when they pull the visas and stuff out and really looked at them, ain't now one of them here illegal. They all over here on a valid green visa that has not expired. So they went down there and arrested them people for absolutely nothing. They showed some pictures, Ted, of these ICE agents knocked some lady's car window out, dragged her out the car. She cried, ain't nothing, I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm a citizen. I was born in this country. The man said he didn't care. He dragged her out the car and put handcuffs on her. And two friends in the car, they handcuffed them. Come to find out, they was all here. The two guys that were here, their visa was legal. They should have been here to do their work. And she was a U.S. citizen. This happened in California. Then yesterday, they went to Buffalo, New York. Border Patrol drove up, and they had 2 or 3 Mexicans up on the roof doing the roofing. The people in the city, in the community around there, found out that the ICE agent was over here messing with the guys on the roof. So about 200 of them came over there and blocked the ladder and wouldn't let them go up there and get the daggone guys who was on the roof. While they was over there fooling with them people, they flattened their tires on the daggone Border Patrol car. So when they couldn't get up there and do anything, it was about 5 of them. They went back and got their Border Patrol vehicle, and they drove away on 4 flat tires. And now they said they're gonna find out we gonna get some videos and find out who flattened our tires on the vehicle. We're gonna arrest them. They showed the chart. They were driving away on the Border Patrol car was flat all the 4 tires. I guess they couldn't drive no more than about 2 blocks, and they finally realized we can't get this thing home, so they called a tow truck. So the people in the village saw the tow truck come and they take the car away, and they said, nah, don't come back here to our community. Man, it was hilarious. I couldn't believe that they did that shit to him. Oh man, they just making a mockery out of Trump. I don't know. Oh shoot. Ted, I think the Republicans are getting tired of them boys. They're getting tired of Trump shit.
I don't know, Ed. That's a lot. When you say Republicans, those MAGA people.
The Republicans.
I don't think they're tired.
The Republican senator from North Carolina denied the confirmation of a FEMA executive that they were trying to get through. So we ain't gonna vote for this person and stuff and everything at all. This first time they ever did some shit like that. Evidently, Christy Gnomes, they had over $100 million that was allocated to those folks there in North Carolina because of that storm last year. As soon as Trump and them came in office, they took the money away. and happened giving it back to him. Said, "We ain't giving you all nothing. You all on your own." So he got mad. I guess the Democratic rep that they had, who was in charge of that whole area there, she was a representative of the area, brought it up in the first place and sent a letter to Christy Nomes and said, "You all not taking care of our people. The money has already been allocated. What the heck is wrong? You took it away." So I guess he felt guilty about it. So when they brought this guy before confirmation and stuff, he said, "I ain't gonna vote for him." And all the rest of the Democrats said they ain't gonna vote for him. So they had to take his confirmation away. And they standing up to him. Now you finding out here that some of the Republicans and stuff now are telling Trump that this crap that he is doing about trying to redistrict all these daggone states and everything, they ain't for it. Yes, they said this shit just looks too goddamn bad. So we are not behind him. We're not standing behind it because it is wrong for them to do some stuff like this. So I don't know if they're going to stop the rest of the states from doing it. I know they got Missouri done it, Texas done it, but there are a few more states that said we might be doing it, but most of them
I know
Republicans.
Indiana talking about they're going to do it.
Who?
Indiana.
Oh, well, they haven't done it yet, but I don't believe that they may or may not do it. I don't know. But they're saying now that that the Republicans in the House and the Senate said that shit is wrong. We ain't going to do it. So all doing is causing a bunch of mass confusion. And they said, we still may lose the daggone midterm. But all this old mess he done tried to do.
I'm going to ask a question. This is a philosophical question. Because, even though I might know a little bit about politics, I'm not that astute. However, the word racism, do black people use that word too much? I'm just wondering because, see, we already know, like some of it is politics, some of it is absolutely discriminatory, and at the same time, some of it is competition. I want to be top dog. So I'm just wondering, is it overused? Because see, a lot of white people, and I'm not trying to appease nobody, but a lot of so-called, I don't really call them white, but those folks feel offended because a lot of them, even though they have their little privileges because of their tone, their skin tone, they try to treat people decent. At least a lot of them, not all of them. So I'm just wondering, is it overused? Because when you hear these politicians and other people, they racist. This is prejudice. This is racist. And I think what it should be called, I don't know what it should be called, but I'm just saying, it's really competition, being competitive. Because that's an easy way out and say, they're against us, these white racists. Because the one thing for sure, 2025, and their way of thinking, they attack policies, DEI, and then they persuade people that DEI is for black people, which we know that's not true. They attack different things like Medicaid, when we know the majority of people that's on Medicaid is other folks. They attack people that's on SNAP. So when you constantly use racism, to me, that word is overused. And yes, it might be racism, but at the same time, it could be competition. It could be political. And most of it is politics because we want this party to win. So, in order to, if you're looking at the politics of it, like Congress and all that, you can't just sit back and just, they deliberately drew certain portions and all that. But the thing is, you got to be able to talk to all people, whether they racist, whether they bigots, whether they just fairly decent people. It's all about competition. You got to compete for the vote, and that means everybody's vote. Now, because we are only 14% of the population, so we are a minority. So I'm just wondering, is racism, the word racist, is that overused? Are we overusing it and constantly telling people you're racist? Because, I'm going to tell you something, I listened to Martin Luther King, a lot of speeches he's had. I ain't never heard him say a whole lot about racism, although he said this is the racist country in the world or something like that effect. But this is a racist country. But I've never heard him preach on that or teach on that or speak on that.
Well, I think he, if you listen to a lot of his speeches and stuff and everything, he used one word rather frequently and everything other than racism, and that was segregation. I think he used segregation more than he used racism because it may be just like you were just saying and everything. That word racist and stuff is almost like calling us niggas.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You call somebody a racist, you might well tell him he's a nigga. You a nigga.
Yeah. Because redneck don't phase them. So I'm just saying that, is it a possibility we need another strategy or another term, another word, or some type of other creative method of getting our point across? Because competition is what all of this thing is about. Because I mean, when you only 14% of the population, and then in the state of Texas, you got over 3 million. I don't know how many people vote, but 3 million black people. And then you got what? Another 26, 25 million or more people that live in that state. And then you're talking about another maybe 18, 20%, maybe even 30% Latino. So you really got about 46, not even 60, 55, 56% of what they call white in the whole state of Texas. So I think that term is overused, and I think that we need to come up with something else. That's just my opinion, because it's sort of kind of, like you said, it's almost like the N-word. Some kind of way we have to express our thing, because yes, that's what they're doing. They flat out being discriminatory. I mean, you political. I mean, what do you suggest as far as when you think about they deliberately coming after the black vote, as they say, the black vote, because those representatives represent probably 80% of the people that they represent is black, maybe 70%. And then they take that away and split it up. I mean, I just saw a guy say they're taking 200,000 black folks and they're gonna move in other district and gonna take another and put them over in another district. They only get seven. Each district is 750,000 people.
Well, I think that most people who use that word, they find it rather convenient and easy to use that word, just like we have found that comedians and other people, especially in our race and stuff, they like that word, that N word. They love that N word. They're gonna call whoever, yeah, he's an N word, and it's easier to say that other than being a little bit more articulate about how they use that word, or find another way to describe the people and everything who are discriminating against you. And it's so when you find some easy words, it's hard to break that habit, kid. Hard to
Well,
break that
here's
habit.
another take on this too, and I want you to think about this. You know, he was Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. He was
Reverend
a
Doctor.
reverend.
Reverend Doctor Martin Luther King.
Reverend Dr.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Right.
Now, he had a moral compass.
Correct.
However, what he was doing had a lot of politics involved into it.
Mm-hmm.
However, he wasn't fighting for politics, he was fighting for justice.
Correct.
Now, the moral compass was for integration, fairness, justice. Now, the point what I'm trying to make is that how do we attack? Because see, when you think about this, I don't know if you know about this guy Kirk. His whole spiel was biblically based. I don't know if you know that or not. His whole thing was biblically based, what he was saying. He came against, he according to him, if you listen to him and you talk, he used God a lot. He used the scriptures a lot. And he talks about the left, like it's the left that's responsible for abortion, like it's the left that's responsible for gay people, like it's the left that's responsible for transgender, like it's the left. But the point is that these are not left or democratic things. This is people that want freedom. You got people that are gay, they want their freedom, they want their rights. They want to be treated like everybody else. But but in most Christians and different religions, this is immoral. But we're supposed to be living in a free country. So now we got the Democrats hooked up with what we call, or what people may call, or what they call, and lack of a better word, they're sinners. These white wing people, white Christian nationalists, these people ain't nothing but they are devils because they support gay rights, abortion, transgender, marijuana, all of that. So now they're mixing all of it into one. they got religion or spirit. I wouldn't call it spirituality, but they got concepts of Christianity, not all of Christianity. So therefore, they are using that to justify them coming against the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party needs to say, hey, we believe in freedom. And we believe in, that you should keep the state and religion out of it. Religion should be out of politics. Now, you can be religious and be in politics, but you can't be, using religion as a thing, because if we are supposed to be truly a free country, then people should be, and you're an adult, then you should be able to do whatever you want to. It's just like if somebody said, we're going to ban tattooing. It's against the law to tattoo. But if I want to tattoo my body, that's my right. It's my body. But no, you can't tattoo your body. We said tattoo on your body, you going to jail. Now, what I think it's plain to say that you're not supposed to be making all kind of marks on your body, biblically speaking. So I'm just saying, you got to keep religion out of politics. But at the same time, there are certain things in the biblical teachings are moral that should be adhered to, like stealing, bearing false witness, lying. So this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what kind of country are we coming to? This is all I'm saying. What kind of country are we? The thing is that either we're free or we're not free, because they're trying to control people in their life. It's just like they're saying, man, okay, you got 2 babies out of wedlock. You got to get clipped, bro. You can't be having no more babies out of wedlock. Now, those women agreed to have those babies and have them with him, and those are his 2 children, and they're 2 different women. But they say, no, you going to jail because you got 2 babies out of wedlock. You should have been married. That's what we're coming to.
Well,
they want to make morality a law. It's almost like Sharia law. You have to obey our law, and that's the law of God, or according to them, their law. They use it to their own advantage. That's what they do. Certain things they'll do, but then they don't want you to do it. I'm just saying, this is what we're coming to here. They try to make like they righteous, and they doing, like they all of this and all of that. I just saw today they got this one guy called the Angel. He got an angel, and then he's got a studio in Hollywood, and he's gonna make all, he's collected a whole lot of money to have a studio in Hollywood, and he's gonna make, I guess, Christian uplifting films. Well, that's fine. That's wonderful. But it's almost like, oh, we're gonna change Hollywood, wherever that is.
Well, let's get back to where you started, almost where you got to and everything, and you brought in Dr. King, Reverend Dr. King, and I think that from what you were saying and stuff, that Dr. King used his religious stance to change politics, change policies. Because he was, if you listen to what he called himself, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And most of his teachings and his preachings and stuff and everything came out of the church. He used the church. He used his biblical background, his pastoral background to get people to access freedom. So he used it also, but it wasn't, I guess it wasn't weaponized and stuff like people and stuff are doing right now. I didn't know this Charlie Kirk very much. I had just heard a few things about him, not a lot, and I never really actually followed him, so I really can't say a whole lot about the guy. I man, and after he was killed and everything, it seemed like the Republicans and stuff grabbed themselves the higher moral ground and they grabbed it as fast as they could to beat down the Democrats to get that more high ground, to get people to become angry and stuff at the Democrats and what they were doing. Another form of what I talked about yesterday, if you catch the Democrats down, you keep your foot on their neck and you keep stomping them, and that's what they're doing. And we saw that with an interview and stuff that one of the House of Representatives and stuff did, this Nancy Mace from South Carolina representative, and she's babbling about Democrats this, they caused that man to get killed, they caused this, they caused that. And when the reporter asked, well, what did you say about the Republican who killed those two state representatives, the lady who was representative and her husband? They were killed by, we know, a Republican. And the first thing that she grabbed, well, we're not talking about them. We're not talking about them. We're talking about what happened to Charlie Kirk, which is, man, I really looked at that woman and stuff and everything and what she was saying. And it just, whatever she had said before about the Democrats or whatever, it blew it all away because this guy, Republican, killed two people. They've only got one guy dead. And the only thing that she can say, well, you can see the bullet and stuff and the blood and stuff all over the thing. I said, hey, we don't know who did it. So why are you demonizing the Democrats and everything? And I noticed and stuff that after Trump had did what he did, every news podcast out there, they started their podcast out with the words and stuff and everything that we do not condone violence. We do not condone political violence. And I guess they were trying to grab that more high ground again. But I really think that we need to look at the fact that we got people out there who can carry guns and do what the heck they want to do with them. I really do. I think that all goes back to the gun violence and stuff that we got in this country, no matter who, because people are killing folks and everything at will and stuff now. If they don't like somebody, they first thing they want to do, pull a gun out and shoot them, including us in the black community. We pull our guns out and shoot somebody. We don't talk anymore. It's easy to pull a gun out and shoot someone. So that's what the heck I'm looking at. I'm looking at this man was killed with gun violence. We need to do something about the guns and stuff in this country. And I'm not messing with you folks out there who are Second Amendment folks and everything. I don't want you out to think that you can't go out there and use your guns for hunting or target practice whatever you want to do because some people just like to have guns and stuff and shoot them. Okay, fine. But there needs to be something done about it because I'm pretty sure that eventually, from what I've been seeing and stuff out there, and the pictures and stuff that they're showing, that whoever this guy was who did this stuff and everything is probably some young guy and stuff and everything with some axe to grind and everything with whoever that he didn't like. We'll find out. I'm gonna wait and see. But I think everybody grabs that more high ground, that religious thing. There's a lot of people out there who do grab it and hold on to it. and they use it as a weapon.
Okay, and I'm just saying though, but what are we? Are we a free country?
Yeah, I think we can still be a free country and still and people can still go out and hunting and shoot or whatever, but you don't need people running around here with no high powered weapon or a machine gun or a gun and stuff that shoots 100 and some rounds and stuff with bullets and stuff and everything. And it's in the hands of ordinary citizens. You want to hunt, you can hunt with a rifle, a 30-30, and it'll sit down there and shoot you a deer if you want to, or whatever. Or if you get caught out in the woods and stuff, and there's a bear sitting out there and everything else, you're gonna need a weapon. You're gonna need a gun.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, the gun thing, that's true. They've been arguing that for quite a few years now, for the last, real hard for the last 25, 30 years. They've even gotten cut back on the NRA and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing, what I'm thinking about is, you got these people that are homosexual, and people use that, they use that as a wedge issue. They use I ain't gonna say harmless, but I'm gonna say, because alcohol can be just as bad as marijuana. If marijuana is not considered bad because some places they allow people to use it. However, we know that if you use cocaine or heroin or a lot of these things, and then they got this opium or whatever they call it, these pills that they take, and they become addictive. And then what happens is it messes up that person's whole life because they become addicted to it, or some of them just even die from it. But the point what I'm making is that when people are an adult, and I mean, society, I guess you have to have rules and guardrails to stop people. Like you can't drink and drive. You have to wear your seatbelt. You have to know the rules of the road. All of these things, you have to have rules and regulations. What about?
Yep.
I'm just saying, what about, just like, one thing that you don't do is you don't mess with little children sexually. That's against the law. Or what about sex workers? There are people out there now that are saying that sex workers should be able to do sex work without going to jail. So you have these people that's out there making a living doing sex work. And they've been doing that, since the end of time, since the beginning of time. But it's been very prevalent. And at one time they was locking up all kind of what we call prostitutes at that time. We call them sex workers now. Should that be legal in all the states? We know in certain parts of Nevada it's legal. And a lot of people now, they sort of kind of, turn the other cheek now, and they just overlook the sex workers. So what I'm saying is that uh, this country is not and no country is a moral, uh, perfect country. But I think that in just speaking on the American way of life, way I see it is that you treat people with civility, you treat people with courtesy, you treat people with respect. You behave in a way where you are. Well, I won't say the word kind is sort of kind of a whatever, but you just treat people with respect, and you're supposed to get respect, and that's the way you should do it. As far as that goes, I mean, if a person, you know, I mean, for years, Ed, we probably walked around when we was coming up as kids, or even young teenagers or young adults. We was working with gay people and we didn't even know it because they didn't even let people know that they were homosexual or lesbian. And some of us figured it out. So I'm just saying, the point I'm making is that what kind of country are we trying to become, or what are we trying to be? Because do we want somebody to control our every little move and everything we do? Is that what we're trying to do here?
It's coming to that.
Now, what makes you say that?
It is. It's coming to that.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I guess it all depends if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We have people out there who want to find out their ancestry. Well, when you do that and you throw your DNA into a bank, that DNA belongs to those folks and stuff out there who want to use it for whatever they want to use it for. You have now, when you go to get credit, all of your information and stuff about you is on that credit, and people are stealing it, and it's become open. It's a public entity and everything. Once it's stolen, you're seeing people breaking into the Social Security Administration to their database. All of my information is gone. When you go and see the doctor and everything, they're asking you for every bit of information about you. What your um, have you had this disease? What kind of medication are you taking? Uh, what how did your parents pass away? What did they what kind of disease or whatever they had and stuff, or your brothers, your sisters, or whatever. They are gathering all of our personal information. They want to find out if you are a smoker. Did you take drugs? Did you do this? Did you do that? And they're gathering this information and stuff and everything, and people are coming in and stealing this information for their own use. We left ourselves open without even knowing it. They had this information out there, against us. You can put your name and stuff in somewhere into a database and stuff and everything, and you're going to come up somewhere. So we've lost all our privacy. We lost everything. It's gone. It
So
is gone.
now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's good in some ways and bad in a lot of ways.
So if
People,
let's say, okay, I'm living up in the hills. I'm not on the internet. I don't even have a phone. The only way I contact people is maybe through mail, or I might use a local phone. I mean, if you can find a local phone to call somebody or whatever, and you completely off the grid. Don't nobody know nothing about you. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know what you're thinking.
yes, they do.
If I'm not on the internet, if I'm not,
You said they get mail.
well, they would know because number one, if you ever work for somebody, or even applied for Social Security, or you got some type of retirement plan, or what have you. Oh, I wonder what happened to Joe Smith. You know, I ain't heard from him. Or whatever. Somebody might have, whatever, to see if he's still even alive. And you can look that up, and you see where his checks came from, so you know where he lives now.
Hmm. Anytime you getting any kind of services from anybody, if you getting a check for somebody, they know about you.
Especially if let's say you get sick and you have to go to the doctor or the
If
hospital.
you sick and go to the doctor and hospital, they know about you because they're asking you everything
Even
about
though
you.
you've been off the grid for
Even
years,
though
and
you've been
all
off
of a
the
sudden you
grid,
need.
you get sick, somebody gonna come in there and get you, and they're going to ask you everything about you. And that information and stuff is out there in the public domain. Even though they say they have HIPAA and everything is private, they are telling a lie. Because if you go to one doctor and stuff and everything, that he can pull up your information from wherever you've been. That doctor can go into his computer and pull that information up anywhere. Because they're telling you HIPAA and stuff, keeping you private, your medical information private, but it's not. You get a driver's license, they know all about you.
So what I'm saying is that if you're just a regular Joe Blow and you've never been in any kind of incidents, even though they have your information, they don't really care. You're not on their radar. However, if you're doing something under the table, they can find you.
Mhm. If
So,
they want to find you, they can find you.
in other words, we're not free.
No,
We're not free.
mm-mm. No.
But at the same time, there are people that's trying to control you in your lifestyle, whatever lifestyle that you want.
Well, I don't know if you would call it control. I think what they want to do is find out your likes and your dislikes, so they can be able to uh, put forth if you go someplace on to wherever you go. If you got a like or a dislike, that they want to know about it, so they can sell you something. We know he don't like TVs and he likes a radio or he likes a phone, so we're gonna try to sell him a phone. We're not gonna sell him a TV because he doesn't buy TVs.
Oh, so now you're going to another level. So now what we're talking about is commerce, and the whole purpose
Yeah, they're
of
using
this
commerce.
data gathering is for
They
commerce.
they've been gathering that data and stuff to use for however they want to use it for. They can gather for law enforcement. They can gather for commercialization and everything. They can gather it for whatever particular information about how you vote. All that. Where you go on vacation. Where you travel to. What kind of car you got. Where your address.
So, the point is, the point I'm trying to make is this, because when you think about it, they have different. What's the term I want to use? Like these forces when they go up to the politicians and they try to persuade these politicians and
Lobbyist.
these people. I'm sorry.
Lobbyist.
When these lobbyists go up there, they have a motive because they represent a certain sector of, or it might be number of corporations that compile and they're trying to get commerce, or you have they might be lobbyists of some type of social programs that they're trying to lobby to, or like in today society, it might be because of the the way the earth is being treated, and so these people use those mechanisms to get what they want. This when you have all of these different lobbyists that are they all want something from these
Hmm.
politicians, meaning that they want policy or they want money.
Hmm. And they will pay you whether you want to give them what they want or don't give them what they want. It doesn't matter to them because all they want to
That
do is
is.
find out. All they want to do is find out where you at. Where are you at on this particular topic? Well, I don't like
And
that
it's a
particular topic. I don't like to do that. And so they're going to say, oh, okay, then we're going to still take you out and do whatever we want to do with you because they already know that they can't depend upon you to give their vote. Or they may be able to figure out, well, if you don't like this and stuff, what do you like about it? And they can
There you go.
tweak
Or
their
what do you like that I can give you that
there
you
you
like
go.
so that you can vote?
There you go. That's going to help the people who are paying me to lobby you.
Yeah. So the point I'm making is that a lot of times things happen because certain sectors, in whatever sector it might be, we talked about it, commerce, social, ecology, whatever, these people are feeding us things that they want, not what we want as a whole.
Well,
Because we are not, I'm talking about the public, we are not
right.
lobbyists.
Right, but we have a tendency, Ted, to look at whichever side we're on. We have a tendency to look at the bad part of whatever's coming out of Congress. But within those laws and stuff and everything, you find that people, the smart folks and everything, wait until the law comes out and everything, and then they find a loophole in the law
Well, let's
to
look
their
at that.
advantage.
Let's look at that for a minute, what I'm talking about. Think about this. You have these politicians who are representatives.
Right.
Who are they lobbyists?
Anybody who's on any lobbyist who's on Capitol Hill are they lobbyists? They are. These lobbyists come to them and they know who they are and they all friends with them. They
Because
know
you
that,
do have, do you have political lobbyists?
that's all they are, political lobbyists. If they on
But what I
Capitol
mean
Hill,
is, okay,
yep,
I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, I know a little bit about the lobbyists, but I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, um, if a community, we was talking about it the other day. I think it was yesterday. Um, Community organizing.
right,
If community organizers gather together, and most people, and I'm just saying, this is just my own interpretation of the American people. The American people just want to have a nice place to stay, a decent job, raise their children. Most American people. Couldn't these community organizers form all over the country and lobby these politicians for their needs?
yep,
They're not doing it though. Only thing they're doing is voting.
yep,
So if these communities or these community organizers, and they have formed different communities they're looking at, we need more funding for our schools, we need more funding for our roads, we need more funding for this and that. The state is only going to give you so much, you need federal government, and they all lobbyists and they come together, and these community organizers across the country,
right,
and they come together and they pool their money together, and they lobby these different politicians to make sure that those fundings are given to those certain communities. That
yep,
would be a good part. You can, because you can go and you can do a community organizing, and then okay, we're gonna help everybody, we're gonna do this, but then at a certain point, you're still gonna need funding, to really, enhance those communities. And
yep,
I think that's this. I mean, I'm just looking at it that way because I think that the way that we would have to do it is you would have to form your community. Some leaderships and the community organizers are going to have to form a lobbyist group, and it has to be statewide first, and then it's got to be national, and then these people can lobby, and then for the community. Because I mean, I'm looking at what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that these people, a lot of American people, all they want to do is go to school, go to work, have a good time, enjoy their life.
They
It
can
ain't
do
all
that.
about this politics and about money.
They can do that. But you have to understand, Ted, that as a community organizer and stuff, it is how astute you are in organizing. You can
There you go.
organize, yeah, you can organize, and you know that you got people who all they want to do is party and bullshit and party, but all you want from them and stuff is, well, I can't depend on them for go out and knock on doors with me and everything, but I can depend upon them to maybe give me a few dollars. So that's how you use them to strengthen your organization. Or if the only thing that you can depend upon them, I can depend on them that they're going to vote and they're going to go out there and they're going to talk to their friends and neighbors or whatever and get them to vote when I need them to vote.
So
And
so what
and
we're
that's power.
saying, so what we're saying is, see, this is the whole thing that I think that we have taken this civil rights and this all this other stuff to a certain degree. But really, what we're saying is this takes a total involvement. I ain't talking about all day. You got to be 24/7, but
Mhm.
you got to put some time into it.
Right.
You can't
And,
just
and
be
but
sitting
but
back.
but there are only going to be a certain amount of people that you're going to get for their time. Whoever their leader and stuff is the controlling point of what you're planning on doing. That leader and stuff and everything, he or she probably is totally committed and stuff to your community organization. They are totally committed, and what their thing is that they have to be able to keep the people and stuff who are behind them or who are dealing with them aware of what they're doing. And then once they become so powerful that they have a voice out there, and these politicians or these lobbyists see that they got a lot of power and everything, then they're going to come to them and give them something. You can expect anybody who got a community organizing group and they are very, very powerful within their community and everything. Somebody, a lobbyist or politician, is coming to them and they're going to want something.
There you go.
And that's
There it
how
is
they
right
get
there.
and that's how they get their power. Somebody gonna come to them and say, hey, we got some money over here that we know that's available and everything and stuff for your community block grant and stuff. And we might go over here and build you a school or help you to build a
A
baseball
community
field.
center.
Right, or a community center and everything. We're gonna get that money and everything and stuff to you. So you hold on, we're gonna get it to you. And that's how they get their power.
Well, this is the thing that I think that a lot of communities are missing.
But most of our people in our community, Ted, have lost that. They have not. They have lost that. They have lost it. They have lost that all of their whole thing and stuff and everything. And all they want to do is complain. I ain't getting this. I ain't getting that. Hey, brother, you got to do something to get something. Anyway, Ted, what's your final word?
Final word is organize.
Organize. Y'all heard it. Ted said it. He come out with that word. You got to organize, people. You can't sit back and hope that things are going to come to you. It's not. People are not out there to give you something. You have to go out there and get it. Just like when you go and find a job, you got to do the same thing in life. You got to go out there and get it. If you want your community to be the best community, then you got to go out there and fight for it. But if you don't fight for your community, it's going to turn around there and it's going to be dirty and nasty and filthy and nothing going to happen. They're going to avoid you and they're going to do just like they used to do to our community and stuff. On voting day, They open the bars up and everybody come in there and drink, get their vote and everything. Once the vote day is over, you don't see them no more until it's time to vote again. But he's a good man. Just like our folks said about Trump, Ted. Remember? He gave us some money the last time he was in office. And that is the only thing they thought about. Trump gave us some money. It wasn't even his money. He just put his name on the check.
Yeah, he didn't even do the policy.
And you heard them say it, Ted. They were saying it. Trump gave us some money. We're going to vote for him. And now he's screwing the crap out of them. And they crying and squealing like pigs. All those farmers out there, Trump gonna save us. He saved us last time. And today he's telling them to kiss his ass. He ain't even thinking about it. He ain't gave them farmers a dime.
He's looking to make another $5 billion.
That's it. He's looking to fatten his pocket and stuff so he can go out there and laugh at them. They gave me their vote and everything, and I told them what I was going to do to them, and they voted for me anyway. And now they feeling it, and they crying, and they telling the government needs to save us. What you gonna do? Take my money and save you? You gonna take my money to save you because you voted for it? Because you screwing the crap out of us too, and instead of you sitting around there and banning with some of these folks around here and everything, you sitting around and crying, Trump, please save us. Please come back and save us, Trump. And your savior might be them folks in that daggone blue state that you can sit down there and gather with and everything and say, hey, we got to get this son of a gun. Because he ain't listening to us, because as long as we apart, you become weaker. You come together and you become a heck of a lot stronger. You better start partying with some of these daggone blue state folks and everything and say, hey, we got to stop this crap here instead of being apart. Only thing I can say, people, bye.